All right, we're getting close.
Weird being so quiet in here. Weird being so quiet in here. Price is a big market now. The price is huge compared to what it was a year ago. I got China and India.
Look at these guys, how spiffy they look tonight. Very sharp.
Yeah.
Everybody, look at that.
Even the fire chief dressed up.
Go put my jacket on.
I need to take a picture so I can memorialize this.
He's got something on, he must have something on the agenda, huh? Huh, okay, we're gonna go. Good evening, the Charter Township of Plymouth Board of Trustees regular meeting for Tuesday, June 28th, 2022 will come to order. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Stewart. Here. Trustee Monahan is excused. Trustee Kermy.
Here.
Trustee Buckley.
Here.
Clerk Vorba here. Treasurer Doshevitz.
Here.
Supervisor
Here,
Heinze.
here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, Pledge of Allegiance tonight, how about Trustee Buckley? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Front.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Mr. Supervisor.
Mr. Clerk.
I move for the approval of the agenda for Tuesday, June 28th, 2022.
Motion is made by Clerk Vorba. Is there a second?
Second.
By Treasurer Dorshevitz. Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. We are now on to public comment, limited to 3 minutes. This is not your only
The
opportunity.
consent agenda.
Sorry. Just so excited here. Item D is approval of the consent agenda.
There's
Comments
two
or
items I'd
questions?
like to take off that, please.
All righty.
One is the bills, and two is, it's D2A, as in Apple.
Okay.
A. Okay, it's been removed.
You want to take off all the bills?
Well, there's
What?
one bill that I want us to not approve because it's being worked on by Patrick Felrath. It's a membership, so it's not, we don't owe it. I mean, it's a renewal.
All right. So,
Let's approve it, but that.
let's just approve the consent agenda minus that one item, Chuck, and then that way we'll still do D2 as a separate item. Okay?
Okay, so we want to, on the bills, we're going to not approve for payment the membership to the Michigan Rural Water Association. $930, something like, let me, here, I got it.
Why are we not approving that?
Because it's a lot of money, and Patrick, I asked him about it, and he said that he may have he's going to investigate having individual memberships instead of a township-wide one. It may be a savings. He needs to check and see how many people are using it to take training.
Okay, fair enough.
So it's just and then we can always, Michigan Rural Water Association, $935. It's a
Okay.
membership. So
Yep.
we can delay our membership, and then till he sorts out what he wants to do.
Okay, that's fine.
Mr. Supervisor.
Mr. Clerk?
I move for the approval of the consent agenda minus the item on the bills that were mentioned by Trustee Kermy and D2A.
Very good. Is there a second?
Yes, second.
Okay, second by Trustee Kermy. Motions was made by Clerk Vorba. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, so I'm just going to make D2, I'm just going to move that up
A,
ahead
yeah.
of the waste hauler thing.
Yes.
Okay. All right, now we have public comment, limited to 3 minutes. This is not your only opportunity during the evening. There'll be other opportunity at the end of the meeting. You're also welcome to comment on items in the agenda as long as they're germane to that particular item. Any public comment at this time? Oh, we got somebody else here. Just wait your turn.
I just wanted to speak up about the trash hauling contract. Everyone I've talked to is very satisfied with GFL, and I just wanted to pass that on. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Next.
Thank you. Paul Ruthenberg, Priority Waste. I would just wanted to stop by and thank both the governing body and Sarah Weissel for a beautifully done bidding process. It was fair and equitable, and I really appreciated it. Thank you.
Okay.
Is it different than what's typical? Or,
Is it different than what's typical? That's a good question, without throwing any other community under the bus, which I'm not going to do. But this one was very clean, very well written, very easy to understand. Everybody had an equal opportunity to present themselves. And I just thought it was a very, very well done process.
good, so hopefully it'll become a benchmark and
That would be great.
other businesses and communities will use it.
I know this gentleman over here would agree with me on that. It was very well done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? We do have to go back to the consent agenda because we did have a resolution, a couple resolutions on there, and so our attorney has advised us that we do need to have a roll call. So, Mr. Clerk, you made the motion, and it was seconded by Trustee Kermy.
Okay, do a
If
roll
you could
call.
take the roll at this point.
Supervisor Heisey.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Clerk Borba, yes. Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Kermy.
Yes.
Trustee John Stewart.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries.
You don't usually say my first name.
So we're going to move on to item D2. This is the Police Department Property Room Camera and Secure Fencing Enclosure Project.
Yeah.
Deputy Chief
He
Kuchar.
doesn't need to present it. I'm just,
Oh, okay.
unless you guys have, unless he wants to.
No.
But this new capital item form, this is a benchmark of what is called completed staff work. So there are no questions. It answers all the what-ifs. I recommend that you do an in-service for other departments, training, because this is the right way to do a capital item. So thank you. That's that's the only reason I wanted it off.
All right, any other questions on that item? Would you like to make a motion, Chuck, on that?
Oh, to approve it?
Sure.
I need to read this whole thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I move to approve Resolution 2022-06-2836, authorizing the Plymouth Township Police Department to purchase and install new security cameras for the property room and have a fencing contractor install a secure enclosure in the Sally Port for a total cost not to exceed $10,000 from the State Drug Law Enforcement Fund's operational tools and supplies and capital outlay accounts, and to authorize the finance director to appropriate fund balance in the amount of $10,000 to the State Drug Law Enforcement Fund to pay for the projects.
Okay, motion's made by Trustee Kermy. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Buckley. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Kermy.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Clerk Borba, yes. Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Supervisor Heisey.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, item F1 is the waste hauler selection. As I mentioned at our meeting last week, we're not agreeing to a particular vendor tonight. What we're going to do is, I'm asking the board to recommend a 5-year contract with one of the 3 firms that we interviewed. And as the motion says, that the motion is to negotiate a contract with the successful bidder by the supervisor and township attorney. And that part speaks for itself. So I'm just going to say before we begin that I appreciate everyone who bid in for this project. I think waste hauling and waste management is one of the most essential functions of local government, along with police, fire, and DPW and all those functions. And those are certainly the things that we get calls about the most, as Sarah Wiesel can attest. I also want to thank Sarah for all of her due diligence and hard work on this. These are the contracts that you administer every day, and so you know it better than all of us, and you know what's good and what works and what doesn't work. So we're certainly going to continue to need your assistance as we proceed with the finalization of a contract with the successful bidder. I've had a couple of you ask who I'm going to support, and I'm going to be supporting GFL. For a variety of reasons. I think they had the best proposal. I think there are some ways that we can fine-tune that proposal in the weeks ahead, and that's what contract negotiations are all about. I think all of the firms did a great presentation, and I appreciate, again, your submissions. But I think that if you look at price, if you look at level of service, and just the level of continuity that I think we need here in the township at this point in history, I think GFL would be my recommendation. So if there are any other comments or questions by board members for either myself or Ms. Wiesel?
I'd like to know what Sarah Wiesel thinks about the recommendation, or what her recommendation is.
Okay, thank you. My recommendation is GFL as well. I think we receive excellent service right now. Their bid represents the best price for the continuation of that excellent service. Their staff is very responsive to any concerns or issues that are brought to their attention. So GFL is who I would recommend.
So you think that we can get a contract that will improve at least some of the operational things, like trying to get better compliance with recycling, and that's us as residents?
Yeah.
And maybe a little better control of critters or rodents, so that we can encourage people to use maybe hard-sided containers more often, or put it out in the morning, those kinds of things.
Yes. Well, yeah, I think a lot of that's going to be education. And I do think that they can help us tremendously with educating our residents. What was the first thing you mentioned? I'm sorry.
About the recycling compliance.
Yeah, so they actually have a recycling program that I think we're going to look into. What's it called, Sam?
We got a recycling educator.
Yeah, but there was something else that I think might be something that we would look.
Recycling rewards?
Yeah, the reward program. So that it might be something that we're going to look into and see if residents can get involved and actually earn rewards.
All right,
Like
For
what
their
kind of
recycling
What
efforts.
kind of rewards?
money,
Huh?
money or
I
coupons or
think it's
something.
more, yeah, there's a little bit of money, but I think it's more like maybe gift certificates, gift cards, that sort of thing that they'd be getting. So.
Okay, any other questions for Sarah? When the motion is made, I would also request that, could you bring that up, please? We're a little bit ahead. There you go. So right there on the third, right here on the third line, where it says, contract with blank for, I want, in between for and waste, I'd like to insert residential and commercial waste hauling services. So when we say commercial, that would include the township-owned dumpsters at our various township facilities. And that was sort of an add-on to the bid that everybody did respond to. So that would include that service as well.
Okay.
Any other comments by the board?
Ready?
Yes, sir.
I would like
Go,
to.
John, you want to do it?
Yes, please. I would like to note on the record, a month ago, I made an appointment and went in to see Ms. Wiesel for almost a half an hour. She had emailed us a chart of the 3 proposals. We discussed that amidst 2 telephones and a computer going off with her communicating over that half an hour, compare and contrast, distinguish and differentiate, and then I asked her the tough question, why? And she came up with 3 criteria: price, maintenance, responsiveness, communication, and supervisor. I can't thank you enough, and I'm ready to offer this motion for GFL. And GFL, we are not charging you for the psychic income of working with a classy professional like Sarah Wiesel. Therefore, I move that the Plymouth Township Board of Trustees authorize the supervisor and township attorney to negotiate a contract with GFL for residential and commercial waste hauling services for calendar years 2022-2027. Said draft contract to be presented to the board for final review and approval at a later date, but not later than August 23, 2022.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by trustee Stewart, seconded by trustee Kermy. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Clerk Florba, yes. Trustee Kermy.
Yes.
Supervisor Heisey.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yeah.
Motion carries.
Okay, Thank you, congratulations, and please contact me tomorrow morning.
Give me about second.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, item F2 is purchase of the 2023 Lifeline Ford F450 4x4 Type 1 ambulance. Chief Connolly.
Good evening, Board. So in your packet, you have before you the proposal for the 2023 Lifeline/Ford ambulance. Little history, this will be replacing what we call USAR 4 or Rescue 4. That unit is currently out of service with a blown motor. It costs like over $20,000 to fix it at this time. So that means with that unit being out, that's typically our backup ambulance. We have no backup ambulance right now. So if one of the other 3 ambulances goes down for service, we go down to 2 ambulances in the community. So this bid was, it's the same as the 2019 bid, except for we made, with the supervisor's permission, we made an addendum that we would accept a demo unit if available, just to try to get something in the door a little quicker. It's a very trying time right now to buy anything vehicle-wise, and there's forecasts. Some vendors aren't even taking bids. They're just not even doing anything. They're throwing demo or stock units at everything they have if they have them. So we did get 1 bid for a demo unit from Lifeline and R&R, and it will meet our needs. It's not exactly like the ambulances we have now, but it will meet our needs quite well. These are very high quality ambulance. I'm very familiar with them. This unit it's not currently built. It's in the queue right now to be built. I believe starting later this year, it's going to start being built once they get the chassis and everything. And then we should take delivery in the first or second quarter of next year, which is quite the improvement, because if we probably would have bought something else, we're talking probably 3 years before we can get something.
So when you say demo, even though it's not built, it's being built for dealer stock.
It's a stock unit, that's a better.
But they're not going to be using it as a demonstrator before we take possession. So it's something from dealer stock.
Yeah, it's actually dealer
not
stock.
Not a custom order on our part.
Exactly.
And we do all the upfitting anyway, so.
Yes.
As we'll see with the next item.
Yeah. Yeah, so when we get it, we'll have to put the radios in it. We'll have to put the next item in it, the stretcher system and stretcher as well. The price could be lower. It doesn't reflect any rebates out. We don't know what the rebates from Ford will be right yet. So hopefully they'll give us a little bit of money towards it. When it comes out, it'll be
For a
lower.
motion?
Yes.
Any other questions for the chief?
So for budget, we budgeted for this in 2022, is that correct?
Yes, this comes out of ARPA funds.
All right, and then some from general fund or 100% ARPA?
It's not 100% ARPA. There's going to be about 50,000 extra for the additional upfit costs, and that will come out of the general fund, most likely in the 2023 budget.
Okay, so this essentially is supplanting what we would normally spend out of the fire capital or general fund for the entire purchase. ARPA is helping us out, right?
We're utilizing ARPA money in the way
Right,
that
exactly.
the federal
But
government would
instead
like
of
us.
using our general fund or millage money, all right. And do you have to put a deposit on this or just order?
Just order, I believe, yeah.
Without a deposit?
Yeah.
All right, and that'll hold it so they won't sell it out from under us when the price.
It's ours. We've got
When the price moves up another $10,000, they could send it to
It locks
somebody.
it in once we sign the purchase agreement, which I believe is like the first page.
Because you know that's what's been going on when purchasing vehicles.
I know, that's why I want to get this signed.
Okay, any other questions for the chief? I'll entertain a motion then, otherwise.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that the
Treasurer.
Board of Trustees does hereby adopt resolution number 2022-06-25-39 to award the Fire Department ambulance replacement bid to R&R Fire Truck Repair Incorporated for a Lifeline Ford F450 4x4 Type 1 ambulance for a cost not to exceed $267,700.
Motion's made by Treasurer Dorchevitz. Is there a second? Second by Trustee Stewart. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Buckley,
Yes.
Supervisor Heisey.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Kermy.
Yes.
Clerk Borba, yes. Motion carries.
Very good. Item F2 is the purchase of the Stryker Power Load and Power Pro 2 cot for the new ambulance.
F3.
So this is the same cot system, or same stretcher and loading system that we currently have in the other 3 ambulances currently. And it's just the standard changed in 2015, that's why we went with these before. It's just it's a superior unit, it's really awesome. It eliminates having to lift the patient into the ambulance, it does it all for you. It's also huge on reduction of injuries, and it's eligible for a RAP grant for 25% of the cost of the power load system, not the cot, but the power load system, which is about $4,500. It's more comfortable for the patient being loaded, and actually, if you, in your packet, there's a thing in there. Stryker actually guarantees that you will not drop a patient when removing them from the ambulance, because the old stretchers used to have to catch a hook, and that was what was the safety. This doesn't catch a hook, and if someone were to somehow manage to drop a patient with this system, Stryker will pay for 100% of this cot in the power load system. So that's how much faith they have in the system. It's really. It's an amazing system.
What method is it using? Does it have an
It's got a
automatic
big arm that
braking
comes
system?
out. It has an arm comes out and the cot locks into it, and it picks it up, and then you bring the wheels up and slides it right in. Kind of like a drawer, I guess, for lack of a better description. A drawer slide that comes out, engages the cot, pick the wheels up, and it goes in.
So it's considered somewhat fail-safe
Yes.
on the unloading side.
And really the loading too, but they guaranteed the unloading side.
And we're going to get a trade-in credit of $2,500.
Yes, for
Okay,
one
I
of
see
the
that.
old cots we have.
And then the MMRMA we're almost guaranteed that we're going to get that money. They've been calling us and asking us to be more aggressive in our applications, so.
Okay, yeah, I have some contacts on how to get that.
Yeah,
grant filled
no,
out
and we
too,
can
so.
help, I can help you with that too, so that'll be fine, and so that's all good. Okay, any other questions?
Yes,
Board?
I'm a little confused. You're buying this now and going to store it for a year for
No,
installation in the new ambulance?
This is their demo unit that their
Yes.
salesperson uses, and we'll get it when, it's gonna be put in here, it's not gonna be put in at the factory for the ambulance. It'll be put in by the Stryker rep, installed by Stryker.
Right, but that ambulance doesn't come for 1 year.
Right, they will
So-
still be using it for that time.
So
just
that
as a
they're
demo.
going to be using it as a demonstrator for another year.
Give or take, yeah.
Okay.
About 8 months.
So how much do we have to pay them now? Because we don't get the merchandise for.
Right, we pay it, we wanna purchase it before October 1st, that's when their next price increase is. So they're talking like a 10% price increase after October 1st, we wanna get it in before that, and then they'll hold it until then.
After we pay it in full.
No, then it's net 30, I believe it's net 30 after that. So then we'd have till November.
All right, so by October 1, how much money do we have to give them?
By October 1, nothing, by November 1st, we have to give them $54,000.
100%.
Yeah,
And then we won't take delivery, or we don't have a need for it for another 6 months.
correct.
And what do you do with it in that 6-month period?
They're-
They're going to keep using it
I
to
mean, I could- yeah,
demonstrate,
they're
or
gonna
you're
keep
going to
using
bring
it.
it here and store it?
I could probably take it and store it, but I would feel better with it being in their possession, because that way, when they bring it to us, it's gonna be in full functioning, they're gonna go through it and make sure, because this is used by their representative to show the product, so they wanna make sure it's in good operating condition, and it doesn't have a lot of cycle time on it.
Okay, well, prepaying for something, you always have to be cautious.
Oh, absolutely.
When it's not in your possession,
Absolutely.
and it's not going to be in our possession. And so we just need to make sure if it's destroyed or lost or stolen, that we're covered,
Right.
since we own it, not them. So think of something, I mean, I don't know how you do this, how you put this in the purchase
Well,
agreement.
I'm sure if they're still have it, if it's destroyed in their possession, their insurance is gonna cover it for it.
Not their insurance, because they don't own it, that's the that's what I'm getting at.
Right.
So just be careful.
Okay, any other questions for the chief?
I have one more.
Okay.
Something of a statement. Since vehicles are hard to find and have long lead times, I'd like you to look into ways to increase the longevity of our current vehicles, which means how they get operated, try to avoid full accelerations when you're not in an emergency, maybe trying to reduce some of the calls to Northville Township and Canton Township for ambulance service that's puts wear and tear on our vehicles. I know you need to talk to them regularly, but they need to be careful about abusing us since our wheels go there. I don't know if
Their wheels come here too, so it's a
well,
two-way street.
I think it's a little lopsided for the last 3 or 4 years, but maybe we need to look at the data.
No, it's
It's
really
not?
not.
Okay. Oh, well,
It was extremely lopsided before
right.
2016.
Well, yeah, but 2016 is a long time ago. I'm talking about now. Also, is there any way to not have to use the ambulance to go grocery shopping, or you got to have them in there?
They have to be in the unit.
They have to
yeah.
be in there. Okay.
And I'd rather have them using the ambulance than the fire engines, which are a lot more to maintain, so.
Because I always get this from residents saying, what is the ambulance doing at the grocery store?
Right.
Shopping. So, okay, it's
It
because
keeps them in service. They
because
walk and go.
it's in service. They walk out of the store in an emergency and
Yep.
go on a call.
Yep.
All right, good answer.
Okay, anything else for the chief? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Supervisor,
Mr. Clerk.
I move that the Board of Trustees does hereby adopt Resolution 2022-06, 2840 to the purchase of demonstrator striker power load system and demonstrator power Pro 2 COT not to exceed $54,700, and to authorize the finance director to amend the FY 2022 budget and to appropriate $54,700 in the general fund balance to 101-336-970.00 capital outlay account for the purchase of said equipment.
Motion's made by Clerk Vorba. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Buckley. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Clerk Vorba, yes. Trustee Kermy.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Supervisor Heising.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Very good. Public comment. Item G, limited to 3 minutes. Okay, sure.
Yes.
Yes. No, it was clearly a yes.
We got her.
Protect me out.
Just a couple quick questions on the ARPA funds.
Yes.
Did the monies that were going to go to Hilltop get reallocated?
The what?
The monies that were going to go to the golf course,
Oh, you're talking about the entrance?
the entrance?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be reallocated. I don't think we're going to be able to do anything this year, but I think the game plan would be to take the existing entrance, the dirt road off of Powell, and
Off the back.
off of back near Powell, and blacktop that and drain it out nicely and make it more accessible and a little bit safer, hopefully.
We're going to talk about that, right?
Yeah,
Next year.
but we're not there yet.
But where are the monies that were going to be allocated to? Have they been reallocated to something else?
No, as of now, I don't even know what the exact price would be of the upgrade to the current entrance. I'm going to say it's somewhere in the 150,000 range. And I want to say we budgeted about 175 for the original concept off of Ann Arbor Trail, so it would be the same amount of money.
Okay, great. And then as far as the retention pond,
Yeah.
any idea on timing? Because I know that was tied to the ARPA funds also, right?
No, it's not. No, that is tied to the Downtown Development Authority Fund, and that is actually, we've had some issues trying to get a vendor to do the work. Everybody is short-staffed, so I don't know exactly if that's going to be able to get done this year. At a minimum, I'd like to see the fountain reinstalled, because that's important to the aeration of that pond and the ecological balance over there. We're doing our best, but again, it's a case of we're not getting the kind of results that we would like through the competitive bidding process.
Right, no, I understand that everybody's in the same boat, but I was just curious what the status was.
I gave a business card to Ken McDonald from a vendor who was at MTA, so He is working on it, but
Yeah.
along with Jeremy Schrott from
Yeah.
Dietrich, not Dietrich, Spalding to Decker.
Quality injector.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks. Anybody else? Very good. Board comments. Let's start with Jennifer Buckley. Go around the horn.
Well, I just want to say thank you again. I'm just very honored to be here. I've been going around the town hall this week, getting acquainted with the facilities, meeting the different staff members. Everyone is so welcoming and cordial. I'm even more proud to be on this board after having gone through and shaking hands. And I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Mike Richardson in the IT department. If you're watching or listening, it was just a real joy to talk Air Force stuff with him, and he told me about his Navy retirement. You know, and gosh, just an honor to be here. Looking forward to new beginnings and moving forward, working together. And thank you to the gentleman over there today. Got acquainted in the staff meeting there and went into the police department where kind of got acquainted there as well. So just very thankful. Appreciate
Okay, very
it.
good. Thank you. John Stewart.
The only comment I had is with reference to last week's meeting, as an old-fashioned formal guy, I did not get a chance to make a motion that it would be unanimous when we accept the appointment of a new trustee.
Thank you.
That's a good one. Thank you. Bob?
I'm not sure I followed that, but that's okay. I'm good.
You're good, okay.
Tax bills,
Tax bills went out on Monday, so they started arriving today, actually. I got a few calls today. The people love me.
Yeah. That's awesome. Jerry Vorva.
Just an update on the election. We've sent out a little over 11,000 applications, and we've sent out over 5,300 ballots, and we're starting to receive those out in a pretty good number now. So again, if you desire to have an absentee ballot, you can come to the township, and we will give you an application and issue a ballot right on the spot. So you can get a ballot right over the counter, or you can fill one out and application out, and we can mail it to you. And also remember that there are other entities that are having elections, school boards and libraries, and you can sign up for the library board at the county, which is different than some of the other offices, and that is due by the 21st of July at 4 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, Chuck?
our purchase agreement for selling the DPW,
Yes.
supposed to close Thursday. Is that going to happen?
We'll see. I've informed the respondent that if he cannot close by Thursday, the purchase agreement is moot, and we will have to reevaluate our next move. But I've told him that it's not going to be renewed.
We retained the $20,000.
Bob, so Bob, we have 20,000 in hand already?
Yes.
I don't know, I assume so. I don't have it in my
Yes, we
hand.
did. We
Not-
did.
Since you collect money, you can check on it
I
tomorrow and let
I
us
would not
know.
have been the one that collected it,
The
but I can go
finance,
look it
the
up.
finance department.
Yes,
has
we do
all
have
that
it.
information.
We do?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, all set. All right, we do not have any meetings next week because of 4th of July week. And again, we are going to have a 4th of July parade this year in the city of Plymouth. Please, board members, please join us with your families on 4th
What
of
time?
July. I want to say 9 a.m. I know it used to be a lot earlier, but they moved that back. I'll send out an email to all you guys and let you know what's going on with that. I don't exactly know yet where we were supposed to meet. It moves around every year. I would just say be in that parking lot near Bodie's, where the Planet Fitness is, kind of be in that general area.
Cultural center.
And then we'll look for you. Well,
Cultural Center?
no, not really. I'm telling you, last time we did it, we were all sort of in that parking lot, but there have been other times that we've met over by the car wash, further back towards the cultural center. I know some of my state rep parades, we were way into the cultural center.
yeah.
So it varies every year, and And I think because of the COVID hiatus and the new, the Kiwanis, you know, the Plymouth Kiwanis Club is now coordinating it, so they may have some different twists that we didn't see before. So that's all I have. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Motion to adjourn.
And the 26th.
We're meeting on the 12th and the 26th. Yep. Motion's made by trustee Stewart to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by clerk Corb. All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you.